Hi, my name is Kathy Fennell from Promising Outcomes, and welcome to our series of short but practical hints and tips for people who are currently managing teams in the virtual working environment during coronavirus. Now, there's a lot of good information out on the web about creating individual home working practices whilst taking care of well-being. But we wanted to angle our support specifically to those who are managing teams in a remote environment. So this first video takes a quick look at our attitude going into the world of virtual working. In other words, do you view virtual working as a pain or an opportunity? Your answer to this question may well frame the way in which you think and act going forward. So let's take a moment to pause and just see some of the data that's out there that's been collected to date, because it might change some of our thinking. Firstly, when it comes to the benefits. Benefits stated by workers that revolve around the ability to be flexible, the increased balance with family time, and reduced commute. For businesses, the benefits of virtual working are that office location is no longer a barrier to pooling or hiring resources, so your best talent can be pretty much anywhere. And physical location costs are often reduced. Contrary to managers' fear that remote workers may slack off during working from home, all the studies to date show that in the main, remote workers tend to work longer, get more done, and additionally tend to quit the business at half the rate of office-bound workers. Now, of course, there are some flip sides. And when it comes to challenges, remote workers are caught in an ironic mix of not being able to switch off because the laptop is just there in front of them, at the same time as feeling somewhat disconnected and isolated from the rest of the team, because they often don't know who's doing what's going on, and they miss out on some of that lovely office gossip that people used to find out a lot of information about what's going on around their company. For businesses, they often notice a decline when this happens in innovation, team collaboration, and promptness of turnaround, with longer-term impacts of reduced employee engagement. Now, managers might assume this as evidence that remote working is a bad thing. However, the good news is that these negative impacts are felt only when virtual working is left to just do its own thing, without any kind of proactive management. And it's actually the lack of clarity and communication that's underneath this performance drop, not the remoteness of the employee. And all of that can be overcome easily. So get ready, because your managerial autopilots and habits and expectations will need to shift from an old world to a new world point of view. In the old world, we often take for granted the ways in which the physical office environment naturally facilitates a number of unstructured yet fundamental team benefits. There's a sense of assumed clarity in the office environment because a lot of information is shared in casual conversations and ad hoc meetings. If you're a manager, you may feel a higher level of control and certainty in an office environment, simply because literally everything is under your eye line and within your oversight. However, in the new world, where everyone is working virtually, your emphasis as a manager needs to shift. Because people aren't seeing you or each other several times a day, and are possibly working at different times of the day around their other commitments, it requires you as a manager to create a hands-off, trusting culture between yourself and your employees, and between the employees within the team itself. You're going to need to be tolerant of and even encourage a level of flexibility and independence in the workers that are sat at home, whilst making a conscious effort to increase certain communications and coordination so that people, key messages, and tasks don't fall between the cracks. So the conclusion is, remote working can produce some great benefits. It can also produce some challenges. And it's not just about giving someone a laptop and expecting normal working patterns to continue. Success is really all about resetting your thinking and your working patterns so that you can manage your team more productively. Of course, saying you must change is all very well, but it's much easier if you know the tips and tools that will enable that change to happen easily. So on our webpage, promisingoutcomes.com/booking, you will find a short video for each of our top 10 tips. They cover all the things that will turn your team into a fully functioning remote team that reaps all the benefits of remote working whilst avoiding the downsides. We hope you enjoy them, and whilst you're there in promisingoutcomes.com/booking, you can also book some free coaching with us if you need it right now. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.